disappointing launch numbers add fuel to the fire. What's perhaps most shocking is that despite the thousands of hands involved in making Assassin's Creed Shadows, the game has failed to deliver the performance Ubisoft desperately needed. On Steam, it debuted on the 36th most played game, peaked at only 41,412 concurrent players. Now, that was previously, it now is up to 47,616, but still not great. For marquee AAA title from one of the game's former powerhouses, these numbers are far below expectations. Adding insult to injury, mainstream gaming outlets have largely given the game favorable reviews, with an 81 score on Metacritic, which is bullshit. That's bullshit. There's no way. There's no way this game should overall have an 8.1 out of 10 score. When you put everything together. Like, sure, there'll be morons, crazy people, and people with these broken ideologies. They'll be like, it's a perfect game. It's Assassin's Creed and it's new. Sure, it's 100. I'll give it a perfect, like this. VG 24/7, for example, gave the game a perfect 100. Yeah, yet openly admitted in their review that there are problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows for sure. What? That one gets me every time. But like, even when you understand that there's going to be the poor takes out there from the big time major game industry journals, I would think that cooler heads would prevail and that the vast majority of reviews would be a 7. Just especially giving it a bonus point because Ubisoft is buddy-buddy with so many people in the industry and, they all scratch each other's backs. The game is really a 6. It's a 6, 6.5 max. And like, ultimately, and that's me being very kind. That's me being very kind. Like, if I'm like, okay, I'm going to be super kind with this review, I'm feeling nice, I'd give it a 6.5. If I was like really pissed and Ubisoft is trying to take my channel down, I'd probably put that in the review too. But my greater point is the game is not above a 6.5, in my humble opinion. So somehow the critics have come together and said, no, bro, it's an 8.1. But if that's the case, why does, and I called this in my coverage of it, why does this always happen? User score based off of 689 reviews, 5.4. Which honestly is a very fair score for this game. If you're taking 5 as the average, like if 1 is like the bottom a game could get and 10 is the highest, 5 is the middle ground. Well, actually, would 0 be the lowest you could get? Technically, I was always bad with math, but 5 is the middle. Whatever, if it's 0 or 1, I don't know. But if 5 is the middle, I would say it's fair to say this is a 5.4. If you go by the actual the grading scale of 5 being ultimate average, this is a nudge above average. Potentially. So far, by the way, so far it could. That's the Homer Simpson. The highest average so far. Tiger King says voice acting 10 out of 10. Will the fan says 5 is supposed to be the middle, but 7 actually is. Exactly. Yeah. Especially with IGN. But yeah, I think 5.4 is a very fair score for this. I would not, if someone's mad at me for that and say, no, it should be a 4, I'd be like, I get you having a 4 with this game. I wouldn't say that you're being ridiculous giving it a 4. I really don't think that's ridiculous. Sure, the graphics are incredible. Graphics do not make a game. I don't know how to tell people this any more than, sure, it's great to look at. I love good graphics. Awesome. That's the I'm a big fan of ice cream sundaes. And I do like having a cherry on top of it. The graphics to me are the cherry on top of my ice cream sundae. All right. I can live without it. but it really completes it. These people just want a sundae filled with cherries and no ice cream with it. that's not appetizing to me. Like it's a lot of cherries, which is like great, but where's the beef? What not to eat beef with ice cream, but I'm mixing up. Why am I doing all this food? I didn't really eat dinner tonight. That might be it. Greater point being though, the game itself is mid as fuck. The definition of mid. And I think it would be ironically a much better game. Like I would be pushing it to a 7.5 if they cut all the terrible elongated content, cutscenes, incredibly horrific voice acting. If they just cut that content, get rid of it, make the game about Assassin's Creed again. And don't get me started on the unnecessary RPG elements that are that feel very tacked on to the game. I'm like, there's no need for the stuff that they put into this game. It's almost like they worked too hard on it. They forgot what made the game fun. They wanted to inject all this other stuff, including ideologies, but all this other stuff as well into it to think like more equals better. More does not equal better. Like this is actually proof of that, where adding more into the game has actually detracted and made it a worse experience for me. If there were less options, if it had less voice acting, less cutscenes, and a more streamlined story, I'd be all about it. I'd be all about it. And on top of that, I had this shared with me earlier. NevG, shout out to NevG for that. Find it. I had it up somewhere. Where did I put it? Here we go. On top of that, there are now reports, it's not just me, that Assassin's Creed Shadows PC port is absolute garbage. And I thought I was going crazy because I have what did I say? 40, I think it's a 4070. I think I was telling people it's 4060, but I checked it again. System information. Let me double check real quick. Get this right. Hardware. System summary. What the hell is it? I found it right away earlier today. Now I can't, of course. Processor, Intel Core i9, 32 core, 24 core, 32 logical processors, and there it is. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070. So while not like a behemoth beast of a computer, this thing should be able to handle anything I throw at it. And it's not. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, both on console and PC. Unfortunately, even if you have a high-end PC, the game stutters on PC, which is what I've been noticing, by the way. Wicho says that is a beast smash. So that's what I thought. I don't know too much about computers, like full disclosure. I bought a pre-built at Costco. Holy crap, shout out to Kirkland Signature. I brought a pre-built gaming rig at Costco, and it was like, I don't remember. It was like $1,600 or something. Or was it 1,400, 16, something like that. I bought it like 6 months ago. And it was like really good quality. And I know, right? Product placement. Hassan, eat your heart out. But no, it's been fantastic. With like every game I've played, I haven't had any issues. Black Myth Wukong on the highest specs, no issues whatsoever. Runs great, smooth as silk. Monster Hunter Wilds, which a lot of people had issues with, No problems at all. Smooth as silk while streaming that with everyone. No issues whatsoever. But this game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, especially coming out of a cutscene, there's like this weird 30 or 40-second lag where it feels like it's like trying to render the world and load the world while you're walking and doing stuff coming out of a cutscene that eventually kind of self-fixes at some point randomly 40 seconds later. And then you get to another cutscene and it will start doing that again. And maybe it's my resolution I'm running at. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. Maybe I'm doing multiple things at once. My point being is I didn't have this problem with Monster Hunter Wilds. I have this problem with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this is most likely because of Denuvo and bad optimization. The frame rate is so bad, I can't even begin to describe it. I'm forced to turn frame gen on just to have a smooth experience. Oh, I might want to make a note of that. Disabling frame gen and even running this game on the lowest possible setting still results in a subpar experience. And those of you that were watching me play this last night, like I had to go into the settings and set everything to the lowest possible settings that I could. And it was still stuttering a little bit, but it was way better and actually playable. But it still wasn't like a silky smooth experience. It was still like jittery a little bit. This clip, credit to ZWorms Gaming, shows him trying to run AC Shadows with max settings on an RTX 5070 Ti with Ryzen 7 9800 X3D, and the game still struggles to hit 60 frames per second. Having specs anything even below these ones means the game will run even worse on most PC gamers. The PC port is terrible.
Ubisoft, get your together.
Let's check it.
Okay, this is it. 720p still. I mean, come on, dude. If this doesn't show you that the game is absolutely, completely broken in terms of optimization, I don't know what will. 720p is still dropping from 60 FPS in forest areas.
Wow.
Ubisoft, get your together.
47 frames per second at 720. Wow. With the RTX 5070 Ti. Wow. Oh my God. This makes me feel so much better because I was thinking last night that it was like user error. I'm like, oh, clearly I'm doing something wrong. It's like, nope, it's other people having issues running it. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows PC port is currently, at least for me and this ZWorms guy, absolute garbage port. Absolute garbage. But I will disable frame gen in my next playthrough, and hopefully that fixes it more than what it's been. Deco Leader says, not even worth pirating. Well, the funniest part about it was the Steam summer sale was terrible timing because that was like literally going on while this game was like about to come out and people were supposed to be pre-ordering it. And Ubisoft themselves was having a massive 90+% off sale on their Assassin's Creed library, like a fire sale. And then they were expecting people to pre-order a $70 game? A $70 game. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And that is Ubisoft in a nutshell. And I've said this a million times before, but Ubisoft is not just competing against games that have come out already. They're competing against themselves with their own games, their own Assassin's Creed backlog. And then we get this too. This is why you never buy an Assassin's Creed game day one. Never. One day later, like literally, it launched yesterday. Assassin's Creed Shadows Xbox Digital is $60 at Best Buy. Could have saved $10 by waiting a day. Just imagine if you wait a week. Just imagine if you wait 3 weeks. Ubisoft games, I say this every time, not that I'm saying anything groundbreaking because anyone knows this. Ubisoft games beyond any other game company out there, do not hold their value whatsoever. I've never seen a game company out there that is in such a rush to put their games on sale. It is insane to me. What a slap in the face to people that digitally purchased this at full price, like 3 hours before. I'd be ripshit. I'd be like, what the hell? I just bought your brand new game at full price and you're already discounting it a couple hours later to people that buy it at this other place. That's not fair. That's messed up. So yeah, I would expect this game. I know it sounds crazy to say this, but I would expect to see Assassin's Creed Shadow at $29.99 within 3 months on a sale. So mark it right now. By June, this game will be under $30. In fact, I would go so far as to say by July, you can get this for 20. I know that sounds crazy right now. That's 3 to 4 months from right now. You'll get this game for under $20, $19.99 or less, or less. Now, I could be wrong. It could end up going under $10. I've seen that before. Avatar was a Best Buy day one day sale for $9.99. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed is going to be a lot cheaper than this. Ubisoft games do not hold their value whatsoever. And I, as a customer, would be pissed to see this happen. There's so many better games. Exactly. Well, that's, again, Robert Lawrence, that goes back to my point of, like, Ubisoft is not competing against games that are coming out right now. They're competing against games that have come out 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It was the same issue of what Avowed was facing when they were coming out now. It's like people are like, I'd rather play Elden Ring or Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. Like, why would I play Oblivion? Avowed, sorry. I'm mixing them all up right now. Why would I play Avowed when I have these other games that I probably already have in my backlog that I haven't gotten to, which, let's be honest, most gamers that would want to play Avowed have those games in their backlog and haven't played them. And if they don't, they can get them for $5 or $10 on a sale. Why would you? And they're better games. Why would you pay $70 for an inferior product? It makes no sense. Avowed is Timu Oblivion, says Kanye. Awoked. Yeah, so I found that stuff all pretty funny, to say the least. Let me see. Was that everything I had? Let me check. At least with this stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it.